His name was Vincent van Gogh, the man who painted the stars and died believing he was a failure. Now, his paintings are admired all over the world, but in his lifetime he sold almost none of his works. He was a ghost in the art world. Today, we explore the tragic life of Vincent van Gogh, a man who painted beauty while living in darkness. Stay with us until the end to discover the mystery of his death. Our story begins in 1853 in a small village in the Netherlands. Vincent was the son of a minister. He was a quiet and serious child. He was an outsider from the start. He preferred walking in the woods. He studied the rhythm of trees instead of playing with others. He didn't start as an artist. His path was full of mistakes. He tried to be an art dealer, a teacher, and even a preacher. He moved to a poor mining region in Belgium called the Borinage. He lived among the miners and shared their deep suffering. He slept on the cold floor and gave away all his clothes. But the church leaders thought he was too extreme. They fired him from the mission. Vincent was broken and lost. He was 30 years old with no job and no future. But in the darkness of the mines, he found his true light. He began to draw the workers. He realized that art was the only way to save his soul from a life of despair. Vincent was never truly alone because of his brother, Theo. Theo was an art dealer in Paris and Vincent's best friend. They exchanged more than 600 personal letters. These letters are a treasure. They show us his deepest dreams and his mental struggles. Without Theo, the world would not know Van Gogh. Theo sent money every month to help Vincent survive. But Vincent spent the money on expensive oil paints. He often chose colors over food and comfort. He was a man possessed by the need to create beauty. He wanted to give hope to others. In 1886, Vincent moved to the busy city of Paris. The city was the center of the entire art world. There, he discovered the revolutionary work of the Impressionists. He saw bright, pure colors and energetic brush strokes. It was like a bright light turned on in his brain. His style changed forever. He left the dark colors behind. He began using vibrant yellows and deep, emotional blues. But Paris was too busy for his fragile mind. He needed the sun. He needed to go south. He didn't know it yet, but his most tragic chapter was starting. In 1888, Vincent moved to Arles, in the south of France. He rented a small house and painted it bright yellow. For him, yellow was the color of happiness and friendship. He called it the color of gold. He was obsessed with the golden light of the sun. He painted for 10 hours a day under the burning heat. He even attached candles to his hat to paint at night. He wanted to capture the true spirit of the stars. He used a technique called impasto. He put the paint on the canvas very thick and heavy. It was almost like a sculpture. You can feel his energy in every single stroke. Vincent dreamed of a community of artists living together. His friend Paul Gauguin finally came to live with him. But their personalities were too different. They argued about art and life every single day. The tension grew until a cold night in December. Vincent lost control of his fragile mind. He took a sharp razor and cut off part of his ear. He wrapped the ear in paper and took it to a local woman. The truth of that night remains a mystery today. Gauguin left immediately. Vincent was left alone and heartbroken in the yellow house. He decided to seek help. Vincent decided to enter an asylum to seek help. He was a danger to himself, but he never stopped painting. He painted what he saw through the iron bars of his hospital window. This is how he created his masterpiece, Starry Night. It is a view of freedom from a place of captivity. The clouds are swirling like waves in the ocean. Despite his mental pain, he painted 150 works that year. Art was his only medicine. It was his way to survive. In May 1890, he moved to the village of Auvers. He was under the care of a doctor named Gachet. In those final weeks, he was incredibly productive. He painted one masterpiece every day for 70 days. But a shadow was returning. He felt like a burden to his brother, Theo. Theo now had a family, and Vincent felt guilty. The sadness was becoming too heavy to carry anymore. The end was very near. On July 27th, Vincent walked into the fields. He returned to the inn with a wound in his chest. He died 2 days later in the arms of his brother. His last words were, "The sadness will last forever." For a century, the world believed it was suicide. But some modern historians have questioned this story. The gun was never found. His painting tools were lost. The wound was at a very strange angle. Some believe that local boys shot him by accident. Vincent protected the boys by saying he did it himself. He took the secret to his grave. Theo died only 6 months later. They are buried side by side. Theo's wife, Johanna, worked to save his legacy. She published the letters and organized exhibitions. It is a great irony of art history. A man who was poor is now a global icon. Today, his name is a symbol of human genius. He taught us to see the beauty in the stars. Vincent van Gogh died believing he was a failure, but history had other plans. Today, his paintings are among the most valuable in the world. In 1990, one of his works sold for over $80 million. The lonely painter of Arles became one of the greatest artists in human history. Sometimes the world is simply too slow to recognize genius. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, subscribe for more historical stories and mysteries. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter.